Welcome to RSA Conference. We're here recording live from Broadcast Alley in Moscone West. This interview is sponsored by Flexxon, and I'm your host, Mandy Logan. Joining me today for the interview is Camila Chan, CEO and co-founder of Flexxon. Cam, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Nice to meet you as well, Mandy.
Thank you. So this is thoroughly exciting. You're here getting to launch Server Defender,
Yes.
a brand new tool, brand new security module that complements and expands the X5 series of products that Flexxon already brought to market.
Yeah.
Now this, I find intriguing and fascinating. Can you go into a quick synopsis of what the Server Defender does and why were you drawn to creating it?
So in a nutshell, X5 Server Defenders is trying to protect the whole infrastructure of the server. And then we create these independent modules that you just need to simply plug into your server, and then it provides a full stack, 7 layers holistic protection mechanism. So everything is back from the physical layer and then up to the upper 6 layers. Yeah, I mean, just make it simple how to describe these server defenders. Yeah.
So this to me, and seeing the approach that you took to finally finding a way to create security that takes the place of embedded security. We're
Yep.
talking about having something at the BIOS level, at firmware level, of being able to act as if our hardware was already secure, but being able to have it across any platform, any server. The issue I find often with our current cybersecurity posture is that it's software-based.
Yeah.
This, however, goes more into being hardware-based, even though it's an add-on. Correct?
So I just want to highlight the whole concept of our new technology is we are trying to address today's cybersecurity gaps. Software solutions, they have formed very robust ecosystem to fight against the known threats. So meaning that all the threats that have been maintained in the database, I mean the external upper 6 layers that solely rely on software, they are effectively counter against the known threats. Yeah. But then what we are lacking of today is we don't have something in the hardware, or rather in the memory itself. So today, hackers, what they are trying to after, or memory is actually become a prime target for the hackers, because basically all your system informations or the user data is residing inside the memory itself. So we are trying to put a stop protection mechanism right at the last medium. So this become a last medium that intercepting with the attacking signal real time. In that way, we are able to achieve a real-time detection that counter against such a, whether it's a known or unknown threats, especially the zero-day attack, which is lacking off today. Yeah. So software-based is more reactive in the nature of the cybersecurity solutions, and what we are lacking of is something that able to deal with the zero-day attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we mentioned earlier when speaking, talking about the difference in having a police force externally that is reactionary versus having your home ultimately secured from inside.
Yeah.
In your testing so far, what have you found to be some of the most exciting metrics that have been found?
So we embed the AI, I mean we have our patented AI metric seal that embedded into the independent modules that we have developed. So these embedded modules sit inside the server itself that able to monitor all the activities across the 7 layers, and then we are trying to validate things happening in the memory chipset and then verifying the upper 6 layers what is happening out there. So we are able to cross-check. But if you look at the current cybersecurity software approach, basically they are part of the process. So meaning that the decision will be easily manipulated by others components. So meaning that you could be manipulated by your upper layers or the lower layers. And the current approach, you have a silo view because you sit in that particular layers and you don't have a holistic view of across the 7 layers. And now we embed this AI right at the core, which is able to protect the data and the system directly. Yeah, it's not just relying on the one layer, but have an independent, and then we step out and look at the 7 layers holistically. Yeah, so you are not just one layer or silo view and database approach. That's the best to complement on top of the existing software-based solution. Yeah.
Well, and what you're saying then, it also requires that the bad actors have to comply with what XFi is doing in order to even attempt to get close.
Yeah, Mandy, you are right. Because once we build this hardware, right, so meaning that everybody have to comply within the protocol. We build this enclave environment, whether you are the hackers or you are the defenders. When the data stream come down to the physical layer, the hardware layer, you have to comply within this protocol. Yeah. So this make the detection mechanism effective. And another thing is to highlight is we have a very powerful restorations mechanism.
Yes, that's my next question. Really,
Yeah.
please, go into the instant reversion that's capable, that XFi brings. How is instant reversion possible?
So the reason why we are able to achieve such a powerful analysis, right, is because our patented metric seal that able to analyze such a huge data out there and then translate the huge data into a fundamental elementary numeric representation.
Right.
So a small numbers, a small data that represent a huge data out there. So basically our server defenders, we don't keep the user raw data. I mean, this is a hardware-based solutions, and everything, I mean, even though your system or your data being compromised, we have this live reversion or instant restorations mechanism to be able to reverse to the working and good state of your server.
And I'm curious, have you had any experience in your testing seeing how effective it is even when a system is ransomed?
Okay, so basically, I mean, in-house, we have modified a lot of the malware, ransomware, and then trying to test out our solutions. But one of the key highlights is because our AI algorithm it will autonomously learn the new thing, learn the new patterns of the ransomware, malware, or different behavior. But it takes two key inventive innovation elements to make these server defenders to be very effective is, first of all, we break the boundaries of the 7 layers approach. So if you look at the current cybersecurity solutions, they are layers approach. Meaning that each of the solutions you have to comply the OSI network architecture's layers, and then you are kind of like, I mean, I keep emphasizing that you are part of the process and you are manipulated. But for us, it's the independent view. So this is the first inventive element. And second inventive element is our patented metric seals that we are able to analyze such a huge data that across the 7 layers, which, I mean, it would take at least a server kind of computing infrastructure in order to analyze such a huge environment. But now with just a small embedded module, we are able to do so is because of our patented algorithm. Yeah.
So quickly, if this had been implemented prior to the Change Healthcare compromise,
Yeah.
how would you see it have gone differently?
I mean, if you look at the recent attack, ICBC, MGM, or even the very famous attack, the Health, the Change Healthcare, if they deploy server defenders, the service will not be disrupted. You will not lose your reputation because you are able to identify the threats. Real-time detection, because the failure is because of the zero-day kind of threats. It's a new threat where software are good at addressing the non-threats.
Known threats, absolutely.
Yes, not the new threats. Yeah. But here, because our focus is on the system and data protection. But if you are talking about anything that in the external layer that involve your human elements, like for example scam, because it's a human decision. But then when it comes to things like data or system configuration that residing inside the memory, then the memory or our mechanism will take place to run it autonomously without human intervention. So meaning that we don't rely on humans to constantly updating or doing the patches, maintain the database, because only by maintaining the database you are able to identify the non-threats. And another thing is it takes at least one to be compromised for you to maintain your database, to update your database. So it doesn't effective when it comes to zero-day kind of attack.
Absolutely. So to this, for any that are familiar with the movie Minority Report, sounds like this is as close as we can get at this moment, utilizing big data to create a predictive, it's almost a predictive metric to show here's where it's going to happen.
Yep.
To me, that's thrilling. That allows the security practitioners and the teams to have that much more firmly rooted assurance and be able to relay that to their customers.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when they effectively describe how Server Defender helps their company, that they can garner greater trust from clients and from others, contractors?
Yeah, definitely. Like United Healthcare, user or the patients no longer trust the doctor, but the doctor is not the one that given out the information. It's the system, it's the failure of the protections to the system and the client's personal information, the sensitive information. So I welcome, especially those critical infrastructures sectors that like healthcare or financial sector, and come and try out our beta samples to be the early adopters. You can go for, you can create a sandboxing kind of testing environment, and then you can create all kinds of new zero attack or new zero threats to try out on the server defenders and to see that whether this is effective or not.
And now that possibility will be launched tomorrow,
yes,
correct?
Yes. We are going to soft launch tomorrow, and then be really inviting a very serious early adopter to validate our technology and our solutions together.
Wonderful. So I want to invite all of our listeners to really look into Flexxon and the Server Defender tool that is being released tomorrow as part of your X5 series of security modules.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, Cam.
Thank you, Mandy.
Have a wonderful launch day tomorrow.
I really love your story.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I love that you have 40 patents. I'm just impressed that you've been able to get through securing 40 independent patents.
Yeah, this is a challenging journey, but it's very satisfying. And we were even invited by the White House to showcase our technology.
And that's beautiful, like the cyber resiliency program, especially for critical infrastructure. It's something that's near and dear to my heart because we want to get to the bottom line, not just on saving money for corporations, but really helping secure health and life going forward.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize that we are here to help to get rid of the human stress. You don't have to worry about clicking on any phishing email or unknown
Exactly.
files.
So we can actually go fishing in real world instead.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being
Thanks.
with us, Cam.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and please to follow up on the Security Defender release, go to securityweekly.com/Flexxon RSAC. From Broadcast Alley, thank you for joining us.